Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm gonna keep it as straightforward as possible. It's not gonna be one of these videos with fancy edits on how to build a perfect portfolio for the bull run. It's gonna be absolutely simple and straightforward because I just wanna make a point come across. I know that a lot of people right now think that the bull market is over. They think that they're never gonna see these big gains in alts. And this is the moment that distinguishes the winners from the losers. I am buying crypto, you are selling crypto. Most people are selling crypto, they're selling at a loss. And probably, this is one of the biggest bear traps that we've ever seen, at least this year, to induce you to sell your bags. And then you're gonna FOMO back in after all the green candles make a comeback. The difference is that what I'm doing right now is accumulating my bags because I know that when the altcoin season is actually gonna start, perhaps at the end of this year, maybe October, or perhaps Q1 next year, I'm gonna be set up for success. I've been set up for success for the last 6 months, and all the way down, I've been accumulating because I know what crypto feels like. I've been in the sphere for 7 years, and so many of these newbies, of all these new kids in the blocks, are gonna tell you, oh, the bull market is over, or buy this crypto and it's trash. This is the way that people that are real actually generate money, okay? So I'm gonna go straight to the point, no much selling. You guys know where to find me if you wanna subscribe, if you wanna support this channel. I would appreciate if you can drop me a like. There's also my X account. There's a lot of alpha that you're gonna be able to find there for free, and I also have a free Telegram. Obviously, if you wanna take your games to the next levels, I have a VIP group that is on Discord, and you can get access to my website, cipro.com. But let's get to the video because that's why you clicked on here. So, the first thing that I want you to understand is building your safety net. Because obviously I make a lot of videos about meme coins, about plays that are very high risk, but what you don't understand is that I have a 7-figure portfolio, and I'm not bragging here, but what I can say is that if I invest into meme coins, you also need to remember that they are a very small and negligible percentage of my portfolio. Therefore, if one of my meme coins goes to zero, I'm not going to be emotionally impacted because it's a very small amount that is not going to impair me financially, or it's not going to make me feel overly emotional. So the first thing that you need to understand is that, one, this is not financial advice. Of course, you do whatever you want with your own money. This is just for educational purposes only. And the second one is that you need to detach your emotions from your actions in the crypto sphere, okay? That is something that took me 2 or 3 years to understand after I started getting into crypto, and something that you should understand immediately if you really want to be successful. Now, that being said, why am I really not bothered by risks? Because I have a very big safety net in place. I want to also say that who's this portfolio for? Maybe not for somebody that is in multiple 6 figures, maybe not somebody that is in low or high 7 figures, but let's say high 4 figures or low 5 figures. Maybe you have 8 grand, maybe you have 10, 15, 20 grand, or 30 grand even. This portfolio will probably be for you. As I was saying, the safety net. What is the safety net? It's the part of your portfolio that is still gonna make you end up being in profit, even if the rest of your portfolio goes bust. So let's say that I have 40% of my portfolio into this project that does a 3x, I'm still gonna be ending up in profit, even if the rest of the 60% left of my portfolio goes to zero, okay? So this is gonna cover your losses. The way that your safety net is gonna look like is gonna be completely dependent on your budget. Obviously, the higher your budget, the higher your safety net should be. But for the sake of this video, it's not gonna be super huge because you need to take risks if you wanna make money and if you don't have a crazy budget, okay? So I'm gonna say Kaspa should probably be the best bang for your buck play in your portfolio. And I would say even, if you have 4 figures or even high 5 figures, I think that the best choice that you can do is have something like 30 to 40% of your portfolio into Kaspa. Kaspa is a layer 1 blockchain. A lot of people think about it as the new Bitcoin, it's the digital currency. It's also eventually going to have smart contracts and a variety of other things like meme coins and stable coins, etc. But it hasn't gone through a bull run before. It's right now around the 5 billion in market cap, and it's one of the crypto that, first of all, I have 50 videos on my channel, so you can feel free of watching those, but it hasn't gone through a bull run before, and it's not listed on Binance and Coinbase. It's right now the biggest market cap crypto to not be listed on those 2 exchanges, despite the fact that it's actually in the top 20 of cryptocurrencies right now, excluding stablecoins. What it signals is that, with all this community, it has one of the most die-hard communities in crypto right now. There's a very high chance that this asset is going to perform extremely well, and it's probably going to cover all of your losses that you can incur in the rest of your portfolio. I think that, you know, from the 20-cent mark that we have right now, and by the way, I'm not even gonna go into the pages of the crypto right here because I have plenty of other videos that you can follow. So subscribe if you haven't already and then check them out after this video. But I think that a 5x should be probably a no-brainer. That would be a $1. I think it's even realistic to go towards the 8 to 10x territory from here. So let's say that it's going to do anywhere between a 5 to 10x being realistic. Could even do a 15, could even do a 20x for that matter from here. But obviously, I'm just going to say the x's that I'm going to put here are going to be just very realistic numbers, okay? Then I would still say to put some sort of Solana and Ethereum because probably if you only have 4 or 5 figures, you're going to be more emotional than other people. And because of this, you should invest into something that is on the top 10 of cryptocurrencies because they're not going to swing as much. And this is more for like an emotional resilience factor than anything, because if I think about it, even Caspa should be enough. But for all of you guys that are very emotional, it does make sense to put some Solana or Ethereum because that part of the portfolio, let's say 20% even, it's not going to swing that much and it's going to make sure that you're covered as much as possible. And for all that I'm aware, this could even cover all of your losses, even if gas went to zero, because Solana is potentially going to do a 5x plus. So I would be more inclined into buying Solana than Ethereum if that was for an investment. I have both in my portfolio and I have a lot of Caspa in my portfolio. And obviously if you're towards the 6 to 7 figures, you're gonna maybe end up having more Solana and Ethereum than Caspa. That is completely up to you. It's all a matter of balancing risk. But let's say that your safety net is like this. You have 2 picks. And that is enough for building a safety net and to sleep well at night, okay? So for all these people saying, oh, you promoted a meme that went to shit. Yeah, no shit, like memes are gonna go to zero. It's all about getting a good entry and getting a good exit. This is why I've built a safety net that is protecting me for my losses, especially for the high budget that I deal with on a daily basis. Now, we're gonna dive into the middle part of the portfolio, into something that is more mid to high risk. So, let's start with utility plays. Mid to high risk utility plays. Because obviously, I want to build my portfolio around utility plays, right? Not meme coins. And the ones that I would recommend here, and the lower your portfolio, the smaller number of picks you should have. So if you're only with 8 grand, perhaps consider removing 1 or 2 picks. This is not a one size fits all, okay? So it's just a very overall broader guideline for this. But I would say that I would definitely include some lithium, ALF, and I would perhaps buy something like a 10%. This is probably one of the only competitors that Caspa has in the market right now. It uses shards, so it's very similar concept to a block DAG. It's very scalable and it's actually more widespread adopted when it comes to VC investing. Caspa is more power of community. ALF is still got the appeal for businesses and for big VC firms. There's a lot of investments going around in Switzerland, for instance. There's massive communities and it's got a very diehard community as well that is very much smaller compared to the one of Caspa, but could still do extremely well. Right now, we are probably towards 120 to 130 million in market cap. And if you think about just going towards the level of Caspa, that is 4 or 5 billion in market cap, Lithium would have a massive upside from here. And by the way, I didn't say solid Ethereum here, but let's say Ethereum could do something like around a 3x and Solana something like a 5 to 6x. So let's just put it 3 to 5x. Whereas Lithium, imagination can only, go anywhere. I could even expect 100x from a lithium, but I want to be more conservative than possible. I'm just going to say 30 to 50x. Be aware that these are conservative numbers for me, for what a lithium could achieve. Another layer 1 project, I have a couple of videos on my channel that you can check them out if you're looking to understand more about what the currency is and what the community is, etc., and what they're building. They've just recently published a big update of the network just last month, and it's looking extremely promising from here. That is all that I can tell you. Then I would put a layer 2. A layer 2 is basically something that is built on top of a layer 1, so it contributes to the scaling of the layer 1 crypto. Whether it means building RWA or fostering the adoption of certain assets or DeFi and all sorts of technology, or it can even be just scaling the first crypto in the first place when it comes to, cheaper costs and faster transactions. This would be Tectum and Min layer. I would allocate perhaps 10% to one of the two, or maybe if you have a larger budget, you want to do 5 and 5, that is completely up to you. I do expect even 50 to 100x from here, and a lot of people are going to tell me, oh, you're a moon boyish, but I gotta keep it real. Like, considering that I've been covering these projects for a while, and I was saying 30, 50x when they were 2 or 3x from here, I do believe that 100x is possible. I still have a long-term and very strong conviction into these projects. And scaling solutions are needed, especially when it comes to Bitcoin. Think about what Bitcoin dominance is. As soon as Bitcoin dominance is going to come down, there's going to be a much bigger volume towards alts, and the alts that are going to pump the most in the short term, in my opinion, are going to be the alts that are strictly directed to something like Bitcoin and help the scalability, where Bitcoin fails into being scalable and cheap to transact, because it's absolutely not the case. And this is why Bitcoin doesn't solve the crypto trilemma of decentralization, scalability, and security. And this is why you want to invest into some of these. And for the last one, I would say get some exposure to AI, because AI, obviously, we've seen a big resurgence of AI when it comes to, the Nvidia stocks going through the roof and all AI projects having their big bubble at, it was, I think, February or March earlier on this year. And I was a very early investor into AI tech. I did almost a 50x for AI tech, and you probably would have gotten these gains if you had been in my private community back in January or February last year. What I can tell is that I'm still holding my bag, and I still think that it could do maybe a 30, 50x from here, which would put us as massive multipliers from my buy alert. And I think it just makes sense, because this is probably the best AI project in the market. I've covered it several times already. They have the biggest data center in Europe, in Bucharest, Romania. They're also building several platforms when it comes to GPU renting, AI marketplaces, and they've got their own launchpad for private sales. So a very big deal. I would say even a 50x is possible. So that will give you some exposure to it. And there's not a lot left now in the portfolio. I would say that we're going to focus on meme coins now. But before, we're going to focus on blue chip meme coins. What are blue chip meme coins? Are meme coins that are at least towards the 9 figures in market cap, so at least 100 million. And they are there to stay. They're not pump and dumps. They're not something that, you catch a pump and pray for your gains and then you get out. But it's something that you hold for long term and is enabling you to sleep at night. So let's say blue chip meme coins. Blue chip meme coins, that's how I would call them. I would pick 2 if I was to choose only 2. I would say Brett, because it's the biggest meme coin on Base, and I would say Turbo, because it's one of the best communities that you can find out there. Brett, given that it's on the Base ecosystem and it's still not listed on Coinbase and Binance for that matter, so it means a lot. It's 1 billion in market cap. It's got a crazy volume, a crazy fan base. And as soon as there's more users that are going to be onboarded to the Base ecosystem by Coinbase, and this on their plan that is probably going to occur in the next month or 2, I think the Brett is absolutely going to fly off. My most bearish prediction for Brett is to be at 20x from here and go towards the 20 billion market cap. But I think it's even possible for Brett to go towards the 30, 40, or 50 billion in market cap to be, to be realistic. I don't think it's going to go to the 150 billion market cap that some people are predicting, but 50 could even be possible. So let's say, being conservative, that this is going to go to 20x. I would put 5% of my portfolio in here. And I would do something very similar to Turbo. Turbo is perhaps higher risks, but it could do even a 30 to 40x from here. Okay, Turbo, it also sits into the AI narrative. I've covered Turbo several times, so I don't want to spend too much time about it, because probably you're already familiar with what the meme coin is, but that seems just very realistic. And now we have 5% left, and we're going to put it into the Degen territory. What are we going to put here? We're going to pick 1 or 2 very Degen plays that you should be okay losing your money on. I'm going to say Doug the Duck. Doug is the ticker. It's something that I've been shilling, let's say, on my channel for quite a while. I've been an early investor. I found this when it was 250k market cap, and then it went off to do a 20x from there, going to 5 billion. I'm still holding. I swing traded a little bit, but right now I'm just holding for the foreseeable, because I think that it's got the potential going towards the 200, 300 million in market cap. So I want to say that this could even do 100x plus. I would say don't put more than 2% of your portfolio, even if you're a complete degen. So it could do 100x plus. But honestly, you don't want to go overboard, especially if you have a higher budget. So make sure to evaluate according to your budget. I don't want to give you another Degen play because there's so many that I'm making videos about on my channel. So I would just invite you to see what meme coins I'm having for the long term. And I have some that are exclusive to my VIP group. So if you want to join, you're going to see what I'm holding for the long term, even for higher risk picks. But I would say that for Degen territory, you can put 1 or 2 more picks. They're just going to hold it. And I would say keep 1% for swing trades. Keep 1% for some Degen plays, because I'm posting so many of these Degen plays that maybe, you get a good entry, they pump, you do a 5x or something, and then you get out, you have more money, and then you can reallocate it to your blue chip meme coins or to your safety net or whatever. You can reallocate it accordingly. So it just makes sense for me to keep some sort of money that is just there. You can get in and out. And if anything, you should never be fully invested into project. You should always be liquid to some sort of extent. So I want you to keep some money, some cash on the side for some swing trades in meme coins. And after you make your profits, perhaps reallocate that money into your long-term bags. This is how myself and my private community are doing. I appreciate you watching this video. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you do anything else differently. I want to hear from you. And obviously, if you want to take your crypto investing journey to the next level, I do recommend joining my VIP group. Everything is explained on my website, so I'm not going to take so much of your time, especially because you might be there already. But just keep in mind that you might have a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, this crypto meme coin super cycle that we're about to experience, and you don't want to waste it, because if you do it right, you could set yourself financially free forever. So just don't mess it up. I hope to see you there and help you out with your crypto investing journey. And until then, take care for now.